Hello, welcome to Snowy Peaks Math. My name is Joe Police, and you guys can call me Joe Po, you can call me Mr. Police, you can pretty much call me whatever you want. I have no preference. But I'm the math teacher at Snowy Peaks High School. And what we do at Snowy Peaks, specifically in the math department, we focus primarily on the concept of flipped and blended learning. And the purpose of this video is to teach both students and parents the expectations for learning math at Snowy Peaks. Okay, so that's what we're going to do in this video. Kind of talk to you about what every day looks like, how to take notes, how to navigate the math website, and how to be successful in this class. So what I first want to talk about in this video is the purpose of flipped and blended learning. Okay, so we got to talk about what it is, what it looks like, all that good stuff. Here's my sales pitch. When you think about a regular math class, a math class where you sit in a desk, the teacher teaches at the board, and then you leave and go home and do the math, all of a sudden, you know, what made sense in the classroom, or maybe it made sense, all of a sudden when you get home, it doesn't make as much sense. And so what we're doing, the concept of a flipped classroom is that you flip that, where students do the learning not with the teacher, but then work specifically with a teacher on the homework. And this looks different at different schools and different populations, but mainly the concept is that we learn from the videos, okay? I am not going to be at the board teaching every single day. Sure, there will be times where I will be working at the board and working on stuff, but I will not be lecturing math concepts to students at the board. Okay, and what I like about this is that students have the ability to pause and rewind the video to learn at their own pace. And what that does is it allows students to learn better and more efficiently because it's their own learning. And what this does promote, it promotes active learning versus passive learning. Now, the difference between those two things is that active learning means that you're doing the work. The student is doing the thinking. I'm not doing the thinking for you, okay? Passive learning is where that occurs, okay? Passive learning is a student sitting in a desk and watching a teacher teach, but maybe they're struggling and they didn't hear what they said or something like that. Active learning allows them to sit there, ask those questions at their own pace. Passive learning doesn't allow that, okay? What this does promote is the concept of an individualized education, meaning that students are going to work at their own pace and have specific things that are going to be tailored to them and a class. There will be due dates and specific expectations. However, the individualized portion of it means that your student will be working on something that no other student is going to be working on in that class, okay? And that brings us to our use of time. This is the most important thing. Now, I'm going to say this up front. Every student is going to learn at a different pace. Some students will be able to finish a video, finish their assignment and quiz within a class period. Other students, not so much, okay? That may take them longer. It may take them double the time. You know, and it may even take them half the time. And then they'll get done with stuff really, really quickly. And so we have to figure out a balance of time and how to use our time efficiently. Now, when I talk about the use of time and how important this is, I want you to think again about the traditional classroom. When I used to teach in front of a classroom, I loved it. I was the center of attention. I felt like a comedian. It was really a great time. However, I noticed a couple things. I noticed that the smart students, the ones that excelled in the classroom and could get things done very quickly, they would often be bored. And then I'd have this chunk in the middle where, you know, your typical average student would be going along just at the right pace. Then you would have students that would struggle and move at a much slower pace, and I would leave them behind and they'd be really confused. What the flipped and blended learning model allows me to do is to work with every single one of our students individually and use our time wisely. I might have half the class watching videos, and I might be working individually with a group of students. It just kind of depends on the day. Every day is unique depending on what students walk in that day needing. But that's the idea, okay, is that we learn from the videos. It's based on the students. The students have to do the learning, and we use our time more efficiently. And I've seen a lot of success with this model. So I'd like to first start talking about what a typical day looks like, okay? Typical day, students are going to come in. They will have a bell work problem on their Google Classroom. Google Classroom will only serve as a place for students to do their bell work. And that'll be a, either a review question, something we're talking about, something just to get them thinking, okay? The next thing that students will be asked to do, depending on where they're at, the natural sequence of things means that they will be watching a video, an instructional video that's my video, and then be taking notes over that, okay? And this is where the learning happens. The next thing I want to talk about is that once they're done with the video and the notes, students will work on the Edgenuity assignment. And what I'm calling this is their demonstration of learning. Things are a little different. In years past, what we would do is we would let students just work on the assignment, work on the quiz, anywhere they want, all that good stuff. This year, things are changing a little bit. Students have to show me that they physically did the assignment. Now, whether they want to verbally talk to me about it, whether they want to write down the work that they did on a piece of paper, whether they want to use a whiteboard or stand at the whiteboard, something that tells me that they actually did the assignment, okay? I have to have that information in my hand before students take an Edgenuity quiz, okay? Now, here's what I think about. I think of this Edgenuity assignment as practice, okay? Whether, if you want to equate it to like a sport or if you want to equate it to like a musical instrument, practice is students working on it, working on their skills necessary to perform in a game or a concert or a quiz or something like that. So, when you think about it, practice is practice. You're trying to get better. You're trying to learn the skills. Every day you want to get better and better and better. When it comes time to the game, that's what you get graded on, and that's how you're known as, a student, more or less. And so that's what's different this year. So in order for me and all these quizzes will be locked in Edgenuity until I know that a student legitimately did the Edgenuity assignment. This is going to be true for every single course. And this is a new policy at Snowy Peaks, okay? So that's how we're going to do that. Students, again, that's the only thing that's different. Students will have the opportunity to earn points back on quizzes if they don't answer certain questions correctly. Those are things that we can do to me. Now, we will talk about grading in a separate video, mainly because we're still trying to iron out a few things on how everything is going to look, and it should look the same in all classes, okay? The last thing that we will do on a typical day is every other Friday we're going to do what's called an authentic mathematical task. And so this is like a real world problem where students are going to have to work together, do some problem solving, and come up with various solutions to these types of problems, okay? So it'll be a real world problem, something that's real, that's tangible, that they can kind of get their hands on and all that. This will be graded. But I just wanted to make sure that we covered the bases on things that are new this year, okay? Now, the next part of the video is going to be me inside of the computer, navigating the computer to show you how to access the website, videos, bell work, all that good stuff. And after that, I'm going to do a demonstration on how to take notes, and then we'll close this video up, and hopefully it's not too long for you. But I appreciate you watching. Thanks. All right, so I'm in the computer, and this is the Snowy Peaks Math website, okay? And this is where you can find all information about Snowy Peaks. So there's, on the home page, there's a little slideshow on why Snowy Peaks is great, information on how to navigate this website and Google Classroom, and we'll kind of talk about where that is, and then how to be a student at Snowy Peaks High School, what flipped and blended learning is, how to take notes, student survey. So, and students will fill this out on day one. And then there's an About Me page over here where you can read about me and where I come from, all that good stuff. So let's go back to the home page. And so how we navigate this page is as such, okay? Math 8, Algebra 1, Geometry, all these different courses are up here. So depending on whatever course you're in, you can find those links here, okay? So I'm going to go to Math 8 and just click on that. And so within Math 8, we have videos, okay? And these show that this thing here says that there's a link. All right, here is a page for my YouTube page for the Math 8 videos. And so notice that this video here, is the first video that your student would be doing. The Flipped and Blended Learning Orientation, that's the video that you're currently watching, is embedded here. A link to Edgenuity, a calendar with important dates. So it's really important that you look over here on this calendar to see when things are due. So this week all we're doing is the Blended Learning Orientation. Next week we get into the actual course and we do Unit 1, Section 1, Unit 1, Section 2. Down here is a thing for Bellwork. Now if I click on the Bellwork page, all of a sudden Google Classroom opens up, and you have to be signed on to Google Classroom in order for this to work, but you have this first question that I'm asking on September 4th, okay? I will be adding more to that, but in order to find the Bellwork questions, students can either go here or they can go to Google Classroom, either one. The next thing I have is notes. Now these are the guided notes. So like for Unit 1 notes, what will happen is it will actually open up a PDF, and you guys will have the ability to print this. But what I want you to see is that this PDF here matches the same PDF that I have here, okay, in the video. Now in the video, if I kind of scroll through and get to a certain part of it, it should show me writing on top of it like this, okay? So all this stuff that you see here is what you would actually physically write onto here, okay? And I'll provide these, but in the event that you're at home and you're like, hey, I don't have my notes, you can access them on the website, okay? So that's the website in a nutshell. So it's got the videos, it's got a link to Edgenuity, it's got the calendar of due dates, it has the Bellwork assignments, and then the actual notes for the course will be here as well. So this gets updated as I go through the year, but just wanted to make sure that we had this. And I'll provide a link in the email that I send to everybody at the beginning of the year. And if you need the link, then just email me. Now the next part of the video is going to be a section about how to take notes. So you will need that how to take notes paper for the next section. All right, so we're back. And what I want to do is go over, how to take notes, for this flipped and blended learning orientation. And so you guys have a copy of your notes of this sheet with you. And what I want to do is go through, the purpose of the videos and how to take notes and just kind of go through that. So let's go ahead and jump in here, and I'm going to write things down. And I want you to also write things down as I write them down. All right. So the first thing is, the point of this Google Classroom orientation is that we want to learn how to be a student at SPHS. Okay. That's the point of this. All right. That's the point of this Google Classroom or the flipped Classroom orientation, okay? And what we're doing in this one specifically, in this part of the video, is we are going to practice taking notes. Okay. You know, guys, when I was growing up in high school and even in college, I would take notes, and you know, the teacher would just say, "You need to write this down. Write this down," and I would write it down. Okay, I would just do it, you know, just to make them happy. But I struggled because when I would go back and you know, look at my notes, I wouldn't have any idea what they meant. They were just a bunch of words on a page. And so learning how to take notes and understanding your notes is a really important skill that will help you, you know, in the future. Oftentimes, you know, if I'm sitting there and someone's giving me instructions on how to do something, I, you know, usually write down those instructions. So let's go through this and, you know, let's take a look. So the purpose of the video. So in this part of the notes, we're going to write down some things and talk about why we use the videos to learn. Okay, so the purpose of the videos is that we learn from the videos. So learn from the videos. Okay, and so that's where the learning takes place. Guys, it's going to get to a point where none of us will be on the same section in class, and I am not able to teach you at the board. Okay, and I may go through, you know, a day where I try to teach you guys at the board, and we'll see which one you like better. You will probably appreciate the videos a little bit better. And so what you guys will be able to do is you'll be able to access the videos. So you access the videos on YouTube through my channel. You will access them on Google Classroom. Or the SPHS Math website. Okay, so that's where you can access the videos. So various places where you can access them. The next thing I want to talk about, the powerful thing about the videos, the nice thing that I like about the videos is that, you know, you can go at your own pace. You can pause and rewind the videos. Okay, so oftentimes, you know, when I'd be sitting in a class that's live, the teacher would say something, and if I didn't understand what they said, or if I was like, wait, what did they say again? You don't have the chance to do that in real life. But if you have something in video format, you have the ability to pause and rewind. That is one of the most important things that you can do. And a lot of times, you know, I'll be writing very quickly, and you may have to sit there and process the information. It's a really good thing to pause that, write those things down, and then continue what you're doing. Okay. And so what the cool thing is that this saves time. Okay. Time is of the essence. Time is saved and utilized more efficiently. So utilized more efficiently. Okay. And so, you know, and that's the thing about the videos. All right. You're utilizing your time. You know, you're going at your own pace, and I'm not wasting your time as if I was teaching live, okay? And you're not, you know, holding anybody back, and no one's holding you back, okay? So time is of the essence, okay? The other cool thing about the videos and the purpose of the videos is that you can speed up the videos or you can slow down the videos, okay? And so if you're sitting there and you're like, hey, I feel like I can move through this a little bit faster and learn it at a faster rate, go ahead and speed up the video. Okay. I tend to do that quite a bit sometimes. If I'm trying to go through, you know, guys, I'm in grad classes and I watch videos, you know, to learn. Oftentimes I will speed up what they say because, you know, the video might be kind of long and I might want to get it done pretty quickly. Okay. Or there are times if something's really, really, you know, complex and difficult, I may want to slow it down. Okay. All right. Now, the other thing is time to watch the videos. okay? You need to make time to watch the videos. All right. I find that you guys, oftentimes say that there is no time to watch the videos. And I find that to be extremely false. If you want to watch the videos, you will make time to watch the videos. Now, one of the things that we like to say about Snowy Peaks is that there's no homework. However, a good use of your time to watch the videos is outside of class, and that is highly recommended. Outside of class, watching the videos is highly recommended for you to do. Okay, so highly recommended. Oops. All right. And so, I find that the best use of your time, the best way to learn this is to watch the videos outside of class, and then you come into class having already watched the videos, and we jump right in and you go ahead and you start learning, okay? And the cool thing is, guys, is that all the stuff that you're doing here, you can access this anywhere that you have your computer and Wi-Fi, okay? That's the cool thing, all right? So you guys can really honestly take this class wherever you want and whenever you want. But, we want to make sure that you are keeping up with the videos. So, there is a time stamp on these, and you'll have to have these, videos watched and learn, certain content learned by a certain time. Okay. All right. Now let's go over the concept of how to take notes. Okay. And remember, the point of this right now is we want to learn how to take notes. So learn how to take notes. All right. And why that is important. Okay. All right. So how to take notes. Okay. First of all, one of the main things you want to do when you take notes is you want to write everything down that your teacher writes down. Your teacher. Okay. All right, that's the first thing. Okay. The other good thing about taking notes, and one of the strategies is to write down what the teacher says but doesn't write. Okay. And I've done quite a bit of that already. So what the teacher says but doesn't write. All right. And that's something that's a hard skill to learn, okay? And what I typically do, a lot of times, I'll say something in a video, and this happens all the time. I'll say something in a video if I really want to make sure that like I want you guys to have that information on your notes, I usually write it down, okay? However, there are things that I say when I go into a deeper explanation that I don't write. But it's important that you guys write those things down. And that's kind of, up to you. If you're really trying to learn something, you'll listen to what someone says and you'll write those things down. Now, this is the perfect place to learn that because you have the ability to pause and rewind the video and say, hey, wait a second, he just said something that was really important. He didn't necessarily write it down. I should probably write that down. The other cool thing that you can do, okay, I'll get to that in here a second. Let's go ahead and write down something else. The other important thing that you need to have happen with your notes is you need to understand your notes. Okay? And like I said before, this is very important. You should be able to go back into your notes and look at them and know what you wrote down and know what you were talking about, okay? And relearn things and get information from that. That is really important. That is the most important thing because oftentimes you'll just write things down and that will happen. If you don't take good notes, you'll watch these videos and you're going to just write things down and you're going to be like, I don't know what that was. I don't know what that means. Now, the other nice thing about this is that you have the ability to go back and rewatch those videos to help you relearn something if you don't remember it. Okay, so the videos are always there to help you. Okay, but your notes hopefully are good enough that you don't have to go back and rewatch. Okay, the other cool thing that you can do in your notes is write down step by step instructions. Okay, that's a really cool thing to do, and that's something that I would often do if it's like, hey, there's a lot of parts to doing this problem. I got to write down each step individually. Okay. Now the other thing is your ability to ask questions. If you're confused over something, and I'm talking about something in a video, and you're like, hey Joe, what are you talking about? What does this mean? Ask those questions. Write those down. Okay, write questions down as you watch the video. And, especially if you end up doing these, watching these videos at home, okay, it's important that you write those questions down because you can walk into class the next day and immediately ask those and we can talk about them, okay? The other thing is that, there might be a time where you're watching a video and you're confused about something, and I'm off on the other side of the room helping a group of students, and I'm not able to help you at that moment. If you write that question down, I can help you in a few minutes, okay? And you will have that written down, all right? So, writing these notes and taking notes is a really valuable thing, okay? And it is a skill. It's something that takes practice. Now, here's the deal. If you get to a quiz and you're working on something and you raise your hand and you have me come over there and you say, I don't get it, well, guys, that's not a good question, okay? And I'm willing to help you. However, you need to help yourself. And I will ask you, where are your notes? And that's an important thing, is because I'm going to say, all right, well, let's use our notes, because all this information has been, if you've watched the video, technically it's been taught to you, and technically you have learned it. Okay? And what I'm trying to do is to get you to be self-sufficient to learn from that video. Now, if you're sitting there and you're like, hey, the video didn't make any sense, I don't understand what we're doing, I don't understand why we did this, this, and this, those are questions that I can answer. If you're asking me specific questions, I'm happy to answer that. But if you're asking me, how do I do this problem? Well, you need to use your notes, and you need to, use that to, help you answer the questions, okay? So what I will do when you say, I need help, my first thing that I will tell you is you need to have your notes out, you need to get those out, and when you have those out, I'm going to direct you on how to use your notes to answer those questions. So, guys, it's not going to be this thing where I just completely let you go, okay? We are going to work together on this. I'm going to teach you how to use your notes, how to take notes, so that way, when you further your education or you want to learn something else, you can, learn how to take notes and understand what you just learned. So, all right, that's all I got for this part of the video, and we're almost done, and we'll see you in a bit. Thanks a lot. Bye. Hey guys, I know that this was a lot of information, okay? And I don't want you to be overwhelmed, because I'm here to help you through this process, okay? We're going to work on this stuff. We're going to practice it. I'm not just going to let you go. But the one thing that I need from you, the one thing, is I need you to meet me halfway. I need you to try in this class. I can't do the thinking for you, okay? You have to do the thinking for yourself. In order to do that, you have to buy into the system. You have to try. You got to ask me good questions, and you got to work. And I need you to do that every day, okay? If you buy into the system and you do everything I tell you to do, I promise you that you will be more successful in a math class than you've ever been. I've seen this work. I have seen students that have struggled in math, and once they figure out that they can do the learning on their own and that they have to try, all of a sudden they start seeing success. And then we're one step closer to getting you that diploma. Okay? So it's really important that you guys buy into this system and that we're in this together. I look forward to working with you. I'm really excited. It's going to be an awesome year. And we'll see you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye!